Good day. We are looking at change of state in this PowerPoint. There's a lot of things you don't have to copy. In fact, you won't copy things until you hit the last slide. So we're recapping the 5 main points of the KMT. All matter made of tiny particles, particles in constant motion, empty space between the particles. We cannot see the spaces and particles because they're so small. And heat makes the particles move faster. So again, you're not copying anything yet. Here we have a solid. We can tell it's solid, it's all organized, it's holding shape inside the beaker. Here we have a liquid, and the particles are now filling the bottom of the container and taking the shape of the container. So we'll put some arrows in, and there are the arrows showing us going between solid and liquid. And we know to go from a solid to liquid, we must add heat, and to go, so this airway, boom, we're adding heat, and we must remove heat to go from a liquid to a solid. We know when we heat a solid, it may melt, and when we cool a liquid, it may freeze. Now we're going to do the same thing between liquids and gases. So there's our liquid or gas. On the left, we're going to add heat. And on the right, we're going to remove heat. We know it's called evaporation on the left, going from liquid to gas, and condensation going from gas to liquid. So here we have the particles filled in the bottom of the container, and if we add heat, we get them so excited that some will even leave, and over time, the liquid will disappear. On the other hand, if we have a gas, if we cool it, we can get it condensed, and we end up with a liquid. And now we're looking at sublimation. We have a solid becoming a gas, and a gas becoming a solid. So if we're adding heat, we can cause the solid to sublime to a gas. And if we remove heat, we can cause the gas to sublime to a solid. And of course, sublimation is also called deposition. Now you should have a sheet that looks like this. And this is the sheet you're going to fill in. Let's see if we have any sounds we can handle. Now there's a song, so that would get me in trouble. So we look at what's happening here. We put in some arrows. There's an arrow showing melting. There's another arrow, and it's going to show freezing. So fill that in. Here's an arrow that shows evaporation, and an arrow that shows condensation. And now we need a couple of sweeping arrows. One sweeps around the outside, and one sweeps around the other side, coming down. To the left, we're always adding heat. To the right, we're always removing heat. And there's our sublimation on both sides. So if you know this diagram, it gives a very nice visual summary of change of state. And what you really want to pay attention to are what happened to the particles as they change from one state to another. And of course, we know anytime we cool a material, its particles slow down. And whenever we add heat, the particles go faster. And that corresponds to the change of state as well. So make sure you know all these diagrams.